Behind the Filter After Dark is back with another episode this week at Elysian Medspa located in Indianapolis. Not only do they have their typical offerings of a med spa, but they feature dry eye therapy plus a primary care facility. We talked to the team about it all, plus Ashley and I talk about some interesting stories, including a person who sent over 159,000 text messages to one person. And what in the world does man keeping mean? All that and much more coming up next. Hello, welcome back to Behind the Filter After Dark edition. And Ashley and I are on site again. We've been visiting lots of different brands and businesses the last several weeks, so you'll see her a little bit later. But today we are at Elysian Medspa, located over on the northeast side of Indianapolis, I would say. And with me today, I have Dr. Roopsie Bring, who is from Elysian Medspa. Hello, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having us, and thank you for visiting us and making the trek out on this snowy
storm today. Of course, we end up doing a podcast episode the day another snowstorm hits, Indianapolis. But what we found when Ashley and I were driving up, we just noticed like all the snow and then all the trees and how secluded this place is, which it's very calming.
We like to call ourselves an oasis and a retreat. Actually, that's what Deb Whitfield, our mayor, had said at our grand opening, that she has been around for all these years and didn't even know that this place existed. It's just a hidden gem. It's so wooded, beautiful in all seasons. We've seen foxes trot through, deer trot through. We've seen the colors of the leaves change at this point, and now we're getting to enjoy the beautiful snow.
I don't even feel like I'm in Indiana right now.
It really doesn't. We love saying that, but I'm glad you said it today.
All right, so tell us the whole beginning of this med spa. How did the name came about? Like, how did it all just start?
Well, I'm going to take you way back when I was about 6-7 months pregnant with my daughter. She's 13 months now. So Elysian was a dream that I've been working on for some time, putting together different ideas, creating a menu of services. Obviously, we refined that with my partner, Sarabjot, who you'll hear from very shortly. But basically, this was where the serendipity came in. So I had finished up in a place of employment at a different location, and I was in kind of the works of things. I had tabled the idea of a med spa for some time, and Sarabjot had her twins' birthday party. So I was very tired, very pregnant. Initially didn't want to go, but something in me was like, you know what? Hey, we're going to go. So we drove out and met with them, and honestly, that's where Elysian was born. Mm-hmm. So we talked. I had known Sarabjot for many years. Her family, her entire, her kids. We've been in collaboration, but never on this business front. So we started talking, and then Sarabjot's husband, TJ, he pretty much reached out and was like, hey, so that med spa we were talking about, is that taking form or not? And I was like, what are you talking about? So he pushed a little bit. We set up a meeting. We started looking for locations. Lo and behold, we found this place, and Elysian was officially born. It had a home. April 22nd, we came in, brought our contractors in, tore the whole place down, started demo 2 months out, and we're ready for grand opening. So everything kind of snowballed after our initial meeting, but it definitely was serendipity. Had I not gone to their birthday party, and maybe Elysian wouldn't have been a thing.
Oh. But now you guys are here.
But we're here.
And what I have seen is that you guys offer, you do have like the typical med spa services, but you really have lots of different things that I feel like a lot of businesses in the city don't specifically focus on. Tell us about all the things.
Yeah, so we are wanting to create a one-stop shop and be this hidden gem and an oasis. So basically, if you're here, we want you to spend the day with us. We have a variety of services, including something as simple as getting massages, hydrofacials, facials, your traditional toxin filler for helping with fine lines, contouring your face, filling up volume where we've lost it over the years, or just wanting a new factor with a new set of lips, for example. And then we do IV hydration, which is a great vitality booster at this point. We have many different deficiencies in our nutrition and our hydration. I'm not the greatest water drinker, so I always find myself sitting on that seat getting hydrated. And then we have our advanced skincare modalities. So a big one, which you'll hear Dr. Graywell talk about a little bit later, is our dry eye clinic. So that's a combination of radio frequency and intense pulse light therapy. We can do that either just around the eyes or pretty much anywhere on your body. What that does is it ends up inducing collagenesis, which is essentially laying down new foundational skin, creating more tightening, more contour, more definition. And then similar to that, revolutionary game changer is our Morpheus 8 technology, which I'm sure you've heard some of the celebrities talk about. So what that is in brief is microneedling plus radio frequency. So the microneedling creates intentional micro injuries or small breaks in the skin to break up any old scarring, any tissue, any pigment issues. And then that radio frequency aspect of it hits targeted fat cells, essentially. So we are going to take away any areas bulging, sagging, things like that, and leave you feeling pretty rejuvenated. And we have our laser therapy as well, in terms of laser hair removal, IPL, things like that. We have a great team who we've handpicked. Christy Patton, our medical esthetician, Tabitha Phillips, our master nurse injector. She has a tremendous amount of experience. Both of them do, actually. And we're here for you, to serve you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so along with the other packages and services you have, you do offer bridal packages. And so when we took a look at that, I thought that was it's fun and interesting and something different to do when you're planning your wedding.
Yeah, most definitely. So, when we get married, I know I did about almost 8 years ago, I took my set of girls off to a bachelorette trip, and you could still do that, but I wish there was a spa day in town so I didn't have to take a passport, because it can be difficult to coordinate dates sometimes. So that's the idea behind our bridal packaging or special events packaging. We are pretty accessible and affordable, single per person price base, and you can bring your group of friends, whoever you want, and then you get the space in our facility for 2 or 3 hours. You get a dedicated team member, you get some light refreshments, some champagne, popping bottles out here.
Nice.
And you get to celebrate whatever day, big win, bridal, groom, everything. And that's what we want to do for our community. We want to kind of give them a place, give our folks a place where they can do whatever they want, essentially.
I love that. That's great. And I mean, honestly, if you really think about it, you can probably do that like for your birthday or for like a special occasion or any of those things. Or even it's like kind of like your maybe baby moon before or after. How do you can do that? Either way.
I like that. Yeah. Throw in a nice massage.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice facial there. Yeah.
So something else that we talked about that really piqued my interest was that you are trying to create essentially like a one-stop shop, and we started having the conversation about healthcare, which I think is a really, really big thing that a lot of people are trying to figure out right now with what's happening with the government. And I know with me being in news, I'm seeing people within the state trying to figure out how they're going to either carry insurance or how they're going to be able to pay for healthcare for their families. Tell us about what your plans are here and how can that help the community?
Certainly. I'm so glad you brought that up because our newest initiative is Elysian Primary Care. So we are a cash-based primary care clinic doing acute care, chronic care, disease management. We have in-house lab testing, and then we'll be launching kind of further initiatives, specialized testing here soon as well. But we're ready to open. We are very accessible. I know insurance is very problematic right now, unfortunately. As they say, we strongly believe healthcare is a right. And every single person should have access to it, early access, affordable access, and easy access. So that's what we're trying to do here. So if it's primary care you're after, we're here for you. If it's aesthetics you're after, we're here for you.
On the primary care, you already had like the aesthetic side. What made you want to say, oh, let's go ahead and add this in addition to what you're already doing?
It's because we had patient interest.
Really?
So
That's great.
when they interrogated or asked about our background and said, "Hey, you're a set of doctors. You guys know what you're talking about. Do you see patients outside?" And then I would always get these questions as well. And honestly, you'll hear Sarabjot talk about it later, but she is a very well versed, very very highly skilled practitioner. She runs her own clinic down in Columbus, Indiana. So she was already very comfortable seeing patients, and this was just a new initiative at a different location. So we're pretty excited to launch and serve our community in this capacity.
That's great. With both of it, can people go ahead and just make appointments in terms of the medical side, or is it, because I know you kind of are in the beginning phases, how do people go about doing that?
Sure. So a very easy way to do this is just pretty much pick up a phone, dial 317-245-6193. But we do have 2 different booking links. You can follow us on Instagram. Elysian Primary Care is one of our handles, and Elysian Medspa Rejuvenation is another. You'll be able to click onto our booking links and book yourself either an established care, follow-up, sports physical, employment physical, things like that.
I love that you guys are offering that, just because I know, even from firsthand experience, and whether you have private insurance or even if you're having state-funded insurance, sometimes either, we talked about this before, where like either the subsidies obviously are going to be changing, or you're having issues with being able to be in network, out of network, and then you try and find somebody that's either, and you want to pay cash, but then you're not allowed to pay cash because you're under insurance or you're under a certain plan. And this way you can really identify the needs of the people that you're seeing.
It's more of a, I like to say, a la carte style medicine. You get to pick and choose what you want, how you want it, and you are truly in charge of your health care.
Oh, there. My name is Dr. Sahaj Graywal. I'm an optometrist, dry eye specialist here at Elysian. My role, as I mentioned, it's about basically assessing dry eye, but I do a little bit more than that. So my treatments, they include IPL, intense pulse light. That can be done just for dry eye, or it can be done anywhere on the body. What does that mean? What does it do? So it's for any uneven hyperpigmentation, rosacea, red spots. Women sometimes get those malar rashes after pregnancy, or just some people just have them due to lupus and so on and so on. So this light energy is attracted to that uneven pigment. It goes into the tissue and essentially destroys it. And then over time, as your skin cell cycles are going through their natural processes, they come to the surface. And the great thing to get after that is a hydrofacial that we offer here as well. So that's what IPL does. But essentially, IPL and radiofrequency, they entice what we call collagenesis. Collagen is everywhere in the body. It's in our tissues. Our cells, they don't function to their full capacity as we age, many other things, diseases, so on and so on. So these treatments, radiofrequency and intense pulse light, wake up those cells, help them function to their full ability.
Amazing.
A radiofrequency, the other one, is just on, well, you can do radiofrequency with Morpheus 8, which they'll talk about, but I do them for the eyes.
Okay.
So they can help with the fine lines, wrinkles, the dark, deep, sunken eyes, and as well as, again, entice collagenesis. So as my part, what I do is I take a picture of the meibomian glands. These are glands that run through our eyelids. I avert the eyelid, take a picture with my mouth. It doesn't hurt. It's a low pressure. It's a low pressure. It doesn't. Take a picture of it with my meibographer, and then I tell you at what stage you have the dysfunction. And these 2 treatments are the only ones that actually regrow those glands.
That's incredible.
Yeah, because everything else this day and age, I'm sure you have an optometrist. Oh, use drops, use eye drops.
Yeah.
Oh, then they go to prescription eye drops. Well, those are several hundreds of dollars.
Right.
And again, that at the end of the day is a Band-Aid. You get on those, you're never done with those.
Right.
These treatments, since we're going to make your own actual cells work to their full potential, you can be potentially free of all those. A good friend of mine, he wants to get LASIK really badly. He's tired of having glasses on. Like me, he's got a couple of little toddlers, and they love having those.
Of course.
So I told him, I was like, we can actually get that under control.
Wow.
So that you can go ahead and get LASIK done. Wow. So the thing is, a lot of people don't realize that these treatments exist.
Yeah.
And over here at Elysian, we offer free consultations. So come and just talk to us, check out the space. I'm sure you guys like to drive up here. You're not in Indiana anymore.
It is beautiful. It is so beautiful. The trees and the surrounding. It is from inside to outside is very serene here. And I think I love that part about it.
Yeah. So I just come here and sometimes have some coffee and chart.
Love it.
Roopsie,
Love
Dr.
it.
Brink definitely does that because she works down the road. So she always comes and charts here.
That's amazing. I can't blame her. So what are some like common signs of dry eyes? Like how would you know if you're a good candidate for it? Because like I know my mom, for example, her eyes are always watering and she can never get them to stop. Like is that dry eyes or is that something different?
So where's the water supposed to be?
Inside?
On your eyes, exactly. On your eyes. I get that every day. People like, oh, my eyes are watering. I'm like, oh, you have dry eyes. How are they dry? So meibomian gland dysfunction is what she has.
Okay.
And again, I can map those. What happens? Every time we blink, those oils are supposed to come out, mix in with the water on their eyes, keep it there. If the oils aren't coming out, yes, your lacrimal glands up here, they're producing plenty of water, but it's not staying where it's supposed to.
Right.
So radiofrequency forma, IPL will entice collagenesis, get those glands working, get them working to their full potential. The radiofrequency treatment I actually do, I rub a probe onto your eyelids, top, bottom, both sides, and it delivers heat. 40 degrees Celsius is where I start at. If you can handle more, I go higher. If you have less, I go lower.
Okay.
So I'm melting those oils that have become stuck and then getting them to come out with the mechanical friction, and then the bipolar radiofrequency is called getting them to regrow and work to their full potential. So when you're blinking, those oils are coming out. But what leads to that? Screens. We all live on them. Leisure time, work time, anytime. Our blink rate actually reduces by greater than 50%. We go from 16 to 20 times a minute down to 4 to 6 times.
Because we're staring at the screen.
It's one, we're focusing. Anytime we focus on any task, even if we're driving, we blink less often.
Wow.
When we're on screens, that blue violet light, our brain just perceives it differently, so our blink rate reduces even further. And what breaks focus? Blinking does. So again, that's why we blink less often, and we tend to do partial blinks too. It's the force of the full blink that gets
Now I'm thinking about my blinking as you're saying all this.
So my IT people, I actually have them do blinking exercises.
No way.
They call it the 20-20-20 rule.
Okay.
Look 20 feet away, blink 20 times for 20 seconds. So however you want to just take a break that focus.
Okay. And what's like the downtime with getting something done like this, or what's like the cadence? Do you come back for several treatments?
So normally I offer packages of 3 to 4. Now everyone's different.
Okay.
Now people that have ocular rosacea, all those blood vessels, that's going to take a little bit longer. So that's why we do a personalized assessment. Radiofrequency has no downtime. You can do whatever you were doing before or afterwards. IPL does. So IPL, I need you guys to stop all your retinol and all the other stuff that you're doing a couple of weeks before and then a couple of weeks afterwards.
Okay.
And then you can't go into direct sunlight for 2 weeks either. And for 20, well, let's just be on the safe side, say 48 to 72 hours, no intense exercise.
Got it.
Stuff like that. So I did IPL on myself yesterday, so I'm not going to be working out the next couple of days. But that's really the only downtime. And then, of course, you got to wear sunscreen, SPF 50 and higher. And again, I said no direct sunlight. So if you're going to Cancun or anything, we're not doing that before that. I know we all want to escape with the sun outside right now. So that's really the only big things. Now, of course, before we proceed with these treatments, we're going to do a full medical assessment, make sure that you can do them. Certain systemic diseases, we can't do IPL, and so on and so on. Radiofrequency, again, doesn't really, we can pretty much do it on every single person.
That's amazing.
And I tend to pair these together.
Okay.
Why? That's because they target different things.
Okay.
They're both enticing collagenesis, but they're using different wavelengths. Radiofrequency, as the name suggests, is radiofrequency. Intense pulse light is varying wavelengths. Again, to target these cells and get them working to their full potential.
That's amazing. It kind of seems like now's the perfect time, almost like in season for this, because
100%.
there's no sunlight. And to be honest, I don't want to go work out when it's weather like this.
You don't want to go
like
out at all. Go snuggle up, drink some hot cocoa.
I feel like it's the perfect timing. Well, that's amazing. I love this spot. Not only is it beautiful and very serene, but it kind of seems like a one-stop shop where you can come in, you can feel beautiful on the inside, or beautiful on the outside, start to feel good on the inside, your IV treatments, your eye treatments. I love it.
Yeah, we had, in high school, whenever we played, we had games. Our coach would make us dress up, wear ties and stuff. If we had tests those days, we would all do better. So the philosophy is, you look good, you feel good, you do good.
It's like sometimes I work from home, and so I'll find myself just like working all day in my pajamas, and I'm like more tired those days. I'm less productive. I can't focus as much. So I've been trying to even just make myself like get up, get ready, get dressed, even though it's just me. So that makes sense.
I 100% agree
you look
with
good,
you.
You feel good, you act good. All right, well, we're excited to interview the rest of your team and get to know more about Elysian.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Now we have another guest on here, and I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you and your involvement with Elysian.
Yes, hi. My name is Dr. Sarabjot Kaur. I'm a DNP, board-certified family nurse practitioner here, and I'm a co-founder here at Elysian Medspa Rejuvenation Center.
I love that. All right, and what are some of your favorite treatments you get here? Or if you could just highlight one, what would that be?
So one of our very popular treatments here is IV hydration. We have about 7 different hydration packages that we offer. And one of the, I guess, most recommended for the season is the immunity drip.
That's smart, because I feel like every other person I'm encountering is like sick right now, and so that's perfect timing. I love getting IV drips, and I try to explain them to other people. Like, you get this instant boost of like hydration, so it's an instant boost of energy. If somebody is feeling like a little fatigue, is this something they could also come in and benefit from?
Yes, definitely. So as I said, we have 7 different drips and it targets what your needs are. If somebody's feeling jet lagged, somebody is just dehydrated. We have another drip named Goddess Revival. It's for women that are menstruating and losing blood. So it has some boost of iron in it to help you feel hydrated and energy boost.
That's amazing. I feel like there's such a good thing that so many people, and especially women menstruating, like, can be benefiting from, that I'm always encouraging someone, just like, go in, just go talk to it, just get your one done. And I feel like it's a little bit addicting, because so I have Hashimoto's and hypothyroidism, so I'm always just a little low on energy. And every time I start to feel like my gas tank get low and I come in and I get one, I'm like, oh my God, I feel so good. Oh my God, I feel so good. And so it's so hard to explain. Like, it can really cover so many different ailments. That's amazing. I love that you guys offer so many. So someone doesn't necessarily need to know which drip they want. They just need to come in, talk to you,
And we have a free consultation. We walk you through and look at what your needs are and which drip or any treatment. We do a full consultation here.
That's amazing. And usually they take like an hour or 90 minutes?
So it depends. If we're doing a 500 ml bag, that could be just under 30 minutes. If we're doing 1,000 ml, it could be anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour.
That's awesome.
So if you don't have a lot of time, we can just get you in and out in 30 minutes.
Okay. That's awesome. I love that. Like a quick, good lunch break. What a perfect way to spend your lunch break. Okay, so we have feeling good on the inside. What about feeling good on the outside? One of my favorite topics is injectables. What kind of injectables do you guys do here?
So we do Botox and filler. We have different kind of Botox, Soman.
So you offer the two. Do you find, so I personally don't do well with Botox. My mom loves Botox. How do you kind of navigate different clients choosing between like Xeomin or Xeomin? I never say that one right. And then Botox. How do you navigate through that with the client?
So since we offer both Soman and Botox, obviously we'll look at and talk to the clients what their preference is. But if somebody wants our opinion, we can start off with Soman. It has a naked protein, has a less tolerance, and they're slightly cheaper.
Everybody loves a good affordable option. I think it's nice too, especially when you're like introducing yourself into getting some type of tox. And I know like a lot of my friends, they want to start, but they're like, I don't want to get the whole face. I'm like, you can come in. And my one friend's like, can I just get my crow's feet? I'm like, you can go in and just get your crow's feet. You can kind of introduce. But I'll tell you, with me, I started just here, and now it's the forehead, the crow's feet. I started on the jaw. Like, where else can we put it?
Yeah, so we do a full face assessment and recommend where they would benefit and where. And Botox is not just treatment, just not targeting the fine lines or wrinkles. We call it preventative now. Yeah. So you want to start as early as you can, and it gives a really nice definition to your face.
I love that. And then you also have the filler side. Yes. Do you guys offer multiple different types of fillers? You kind of do the whole facial filler gambit. Tell me a little bit about that.
So we have Juvederm.
Okay.
And right now we're offering... you can bring a friend and split the syringe.
That's amazing. Okay, I love that. Yep. That's actually really good, because I know that some people too want to just introduce themselves to filler. And like for me, I like to do just a little bit where they're like, is it filler? Is it real or is it fake?
So our injector is great, Tabitha Phillips. She does wonderful with fillers, and she doesn't overfill you.
Okay.
So it's just a subtle rise to your lips or wherever.
That's great. So 2 people could come in, both get like a half a syringe in their lips.
It has to be at the same time, though.
That's amazing. I obviously love tox. I have some lip filler. What is your favorite? Like, have you dived into the toxin filler?
Yes. I was very nervous in the beginning, because obviously I didn't want it to fill up my whole face with Botox and filler. So I did just start lightly on my crow's feet. Maybe got just a little under half a syringe on my lips. Very subtle, you can't even tell, but it gives a nice lift and shape to my lips.
Right. I love that too, because there's such like a variety. I think so many people think of celebrities and they're overfilling, where you can get it to a point where it is just very natural. Like I would never look at you and think, oh, she gets filler. I'm like, that's great. That's like a perfect definition and perfect marketing for your guys' business.
Yes.
That's amazing. And I feel like if you're not trying toxin filler, you should. any kind of injectable, give it to me.
So like I said, you're glowing from inside and outside as well here at Elysian.
I love that. Anything else you want to touch on here? Any other favorite treatments you want to highlight?
So I do want to mention that we're adding on primary care services here at Elysian. So we want to make it a one-stop shop for anyone that's coming. We'll be offering full services, acute and chronic disease management, full lab workup, and we will also be adding some additional specialties in the coming year, in the coming months.
That's so exciting. I love that. I'm the kind of person where like once I find my location, I just want to do everything there, because I also feel like more comfortable, especially like if my injector knows that I have an autoimmune, and so that kind of information is passed back and forth. So I love that you're here to serve someone wholly and serve the community wholly and from their inside out. Like, what a great space to do it. I feel like once I walk in here, I genuinely just don't. You guys are going to be like, leave. Ashley, leave.
Yes, you want to leave. That's here. Why we start upstairs. Or yes, you can start downstairs and move yourself up.
I love it. 2 floors. Kind of reminds me of that trend going around where like somebody will be in a clinic and they'll go lay on the bed and like, your next appointment's here. And they're like, I don't have an appointment. And it's just me laying there waiting to
We're trying to offer a whole day spa here.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for bringing us here and letting us introduce Elysian to our community, because this is truly a gem of a spot, and I hope more people stop by and see it.
Thank you, and thank you for coming here and covering us.
Yes, of course. We're so excited. Thank you. All right, Bestie, you are back. What a fun place that we are in today. Like, I just can't wait for people to see the absolute serenity of this place.
Yeah,
it is
I love
so
it.
beautiful.
It's so great. I love the way it looks, and I love how just calm and collective it is, I guess you can say. You know, like you just come in and you feel like you can kind of just take a deep breath and just like be still. It's very calming.
And the Greek in me, I'm just like, I'm just so excited about. I'm like,
It's very Greek inspired, and Ashley is in her happy place.
Yes,
I would be the same way if I was in a space where like it's just all about Puerto Rico. I'd be like, oh my god,
look at it. Not only can I get injectables and IV treatments, but I'm in like Athens and Santorini, and I love that the doors, the rooms are like, this is our Aphrodite room. I'm like, yes.
I love it.
I love it too. Okay, should we get down to our girly details?
Oh my gosh, yes.
I
I
have
have
some
some
good
stories to share today.
I do too. Do you want to start or?
I will start with my Audacity story.
Okay, I got a little preview of this.
Yes. Okay, so last year I went to Yuletide with my son. My boyfriend got us tickets, and I actually dressed up as Buddy as the Elf. And it was super fun, and my son loved it. This year, he, I think, is in full teenager mode because my boyfriend got us tickets again. And I said, hey, Cruz, we have tickets to Yuletide. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, you know, the one we went to last year when I dressed as Buddy the Elf. I'm not going to dress as Buddy the Elf this time. But, like, we get to go again. Yeah. If you guys don't know this, Yuletide is like kind of like this Indianapolis tradition here. It's down on Monument Circle. It's at the theater on the Circle, and it's just like a big Christmas thing. Everybody dresses up in like their Christmas best, and it's, you know, this big, huge musical basically with the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra, and it's just so fun. It gets you in the holiday spirit, all the things. And literally, he was like, Mom, that I don't know, like that's kind of random. And I'm like, what do you mean that's kind of random? What does that mean? He goes, I don't know. It's just, you know, it's like on a school night. And I was like, it was on a school night last year. I'm like, what are you talking about?
He's basically like, I don't want to go.
Yes. I think he was trying to say it in a nice way that I don't want to go, but he didn't know how to tell me.
Yeah.
So I think he was trying to say, but what he was saying was not making one sense at all, because I was like, what do you mean this is random? That literally makes no sense. I don't know if that's like a new lingo for high school kids, but I was like, I don't know what you're saying right now. So I was like,
it's the holidays and it's a holiday performance. It's really not that random.
No, it's not. And so I was just like, you know what? I said, I'm not going to make you go somewhere and you're going to bitch and complain, so don't worry about it. He was like, well, I just think it's kind of random. And I'm like, I'm done having this conversation with you. So then I text my boyfriend. I'm like, hi, Cruz is being a teenager, so do you want to come? You know, because you're the one who got me the tickets anyways. So we go. So this year we sat up, there's 3 levels. We got up to the 3rd level. We sit down. And then 10 minutes later, this couple comes in and they sit next to us. They must have had a couple of drinks. Because they were like chatty Cathys. Who goes to a musical performance and talks so freaking loud that your entire section hears you? And I kept like going like this. I kept going like this with Justin, and kept going, you know, when you give somebody like the eye, like
I can just picture you as a teapot slowly coming to a boil.
Oh, I was this close to saying something, okay? So before I got to that level, the guy in front of us turns around and goes, "Jesus Christ, be quiet." So loud. And Justin and I look at each other, we're like, and so I looked at him, I said, "You're lucky he said that, because I would have told him to shut the fuck up." And he was like, "Janet, calm down." I'm like, "I'm just saying, I'm still gonna say it," because they were so rude.
Yeah.
Like, who goes to a musical with the symphony orchestra? You're here to see and hear the performance, not for the whole freaking section, to hear your damn conversation.
Yeah.
So then they look at the guy and they kind of immediately be quiet, okay? And so I just kind of sparked it off. I left it, whatever. Intermission happens. They get up. Oh, lo and behold, to go get another pair of drinks. They come back. The lady comes down and she tries to kneel over the guy, puts her hand on his back. And I didn't really hear all of it. My boyfriend heard some of it, but I think she said something to the effect of, "You didn't have to use Jesus Christ in what you said." So I think that pissed him off even more. So he says, "I didn't say a bad word. I could have called you a bitch or a cunt, but I didn't, did I?"
Oh my.
At this point, me and Justin are like, he goes, "Oh shit, I'm gonna have to fight tonight." Because we literally thought they were gonna start to fight at that point. And so she just stood there. I don't even think she knew what to say. So then she just kind of stood back, and then she said something to the guy. She was, I don't know if that's like her date, her boyfriend, whatever. And he then goes to the guy and is like, "You don't talk to a woman like that. You're such a fucking dick." This is intermission at the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra Yuletide, okay? Like, none of the ushers were by. Mind you, the ushers are a little older.
I was gonna say, how has no one been kicked out yet?
Literally. And so the guy then blows him kisses. I kid you not. And I was like, I am dying. And that's when I looked at Justin and I said, "Look," I said, granted, he probably could have used something else. I said, "But you know what? If it was me, I was this close to being like, shut the fuck up. Like, what are you doing? You are ruining people's experiences right now." So then they had it out again. Second part of the show starts. And then like 5 minutes goes by. They're quiet. They're being loud again. And the guy literally turns around and it's like flips on the bird and is like, "You're just never gonna shut the fuck up, are you?" You know, and this at this point, Justin's like, "We're gonna get wine thrown at us. I can see the wine coming up right now." And I was like, "Stop. It'll be fine. It'll be fine." And then they just sat quiet the rest of the time. And then there was one part where, the boyfriend got up and got more drinks. He left to go get more wine. So the lady sits back down, and there's this really cool part of the performance, and it was beautiful. And everyone's like going, "Oh," it was like this dress change on stage, and it looked really cool. And she looked at me, she goes, "Oh my God, isn't that so amazing?" I completely ignored her because I was like, "Bitch, do not fucking talk to me, because I will tell you to shut the fuck up right now." That is my audacity story. Who does that when you go see the Indianapolis Symphony? That is so disrespectful.
Yeah.
Like, I kid you not, I was this close. If he didn't tell them to shut up, it was going to be me, because she was right next to me and they were driving me crazy. And I wouldn't have been that nice. I literally would have been, "Shut the fuck up. What are you doing?"
I can't believe all of this is happening at a a prestigious
a place where like you dress up and you're like at your Christmas best and you have families there. There's families all the way around us, and you guys just won't shut up. And now you're having an altercation.
Yeah.
And everybody in our section was like,
So there were kids nearby too?
I know there was adults in front of us. I don't know who's behind us. We were in a section and I didn't know who's behind me.
Yeah.
But still, they were loud. Like you can hear them.
Yeah.
Like, just like, why would you do that you pay for a night like that. It's like a special night. You're ruining people's evening by just completely talking and having conversations the entire time. Like, he would not shut up. And then, because literally Justin was like, why would you pay just to sit and talk the entire time for an orchestra performance? He just wouldn't shut up. We're like, did you guys have one too many drinks? Like, come on.
I would have gone and got the usher and be like, they need to go. Somebody needs to get them out of here, because that's insane.
Yeah, so
that is so rude.
That was my audacity story.
That's some big audacity. That's some big audacity.
I was very close to losing my shit. So thankfully the guy in front of us did first. So.
Wow, it seems like he didn't even care too. He's like, probably just his petty responses made me laugh.
The blowing kisses part was even more hilarious, because I think it infuriated the guy even more that he was blowing kisses at him.
How
like,
old were, like, if you had to guess
I would say the people next to us were at least late 30s, early 40s. Yeah.
Old enough to know.
Old enough to know you shouldn't be fucking doing that.
Yeah.
And the people in front of us were younger. He was with 2 other girls, but they were adults, but they looked like they were probably in their late 20s.
Yeah.
Mid to late 20s. Yeah.
Holy mackerel. That's some audacity.
Some audacity.
I don't have an exact audacity one, but it's kind of like actually a mix between a DM of the week and an audacity story. So I'm going to share it. Okay. It's a little different. I don't know if you've heard about this, but a woman was arrested for sending 159,000 text messages to a guy she went on a first date with. A woman named Jacqueline Aids went on a date with a guy she met from a dating app. Over the course of the next 10 months, Jacqueline sent more than 159,000 text messages. That averages to over 500 messages a day. Some messages were emotional, some were confusing, others turned disturbing. One text later quoted in court documents that she threatened to turn his kidneys into sushi and his bones into chopsticks. Then the man began seeing her parked car outside his home. Police were called and she was told to leave, but weeks later things escalated. While he was away, she allegedly entered his house and took a bath. When the officers searched her car, they found a large butcher knife. She was eventually arrested and charged with stalking and criminal trespassing. However, the ending wasn't clean because questions about her mental health complicated the case, and prosecutors ultimately dropped the charges, citing concerns of competency, and she is out of jail.
Oh my gosh.
100.
Wait, so she's out of jail, so does he have like a protective order
I
against
looked
her?
tonight, so his name hasn't been released. I assume they have the protective order, but I couldn't find much after that. 159,000
How do you have time
messages.
to send that many text messages?
500 in a day.
That's insane.
I can barely text people back.
Same.
Unless I'm doing a voice note to you while I'm
exactly.
driving. I'm like, 5 hours later, 3 days later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like my DM message of the week mixed with the audacity because
that's literally crazy.
Yeah.
So basically the first date didn't go well, huh?
I think it went well in her mind.
In her mind.
In her mind.
In his mind, it did not go well. And then she just was like not giving up.
Can you imagine?
Persistency on another level.
No. I wanted to know, like, if he ever blocked it, if she got different phone
That's what I'm
numbers,
wondering, like, how did she... Because remember how the guy, like, that one dude that kept getting new numbers and kept texting me every time I blocked him?
Yes.
That number would come up. Like, I'm wondering if that's what she did in order to continue to send $159,000 text messages.
After one day.
Crazy.
Yeah. So that was my story.
What if a guy texted you that much? What would you do?
Block them.
Yeah.
I would just immediately block them. But then there is a part of me that's like, I guess it depends. Like, if he, by the time I saw the text, if he had already gone into the threatening stuff, I would be a little bit afraid to block him because part of me would want to see if he said, like, I don't know, I'm coming over or I'm going to find you so that I could have evidence for the cops. I don't know.
That's scary. Did it say what state that happened in?
Arizona.
I'm just curious if, like, different states have, well, I assume that they have their own different laws in regards to kind of stalking and that kind of stuff, which always kind of stinks. Those laws just don't hold up, I feel like, anywhere where you're trying just to get protection.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, until they do something, you can't really do anything. You're like, but that's what you're trying to prevent.
Right.
But they're, it's just, I feel like there's always loopholes around it. Okay. For example, clearly there is, because she's out and about, and she will probably text some other man 159,000 times.
Hopefully, at the very least, she was like banned from the dating apps. But I just feel like there's just so many ways around stuff these days, and it's like,
yeah, that's insane.
Yeah,
it's literally crazy.
Yeah. I could never.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Would you like what did you one of yours?
Oh,
or
yes. We'll do.
That's yours.
I'm gonna do the Oh yeah, let's do this one first. Okay, so these are actually a couple of things that actually popped up while I was at work over the last 2 weeks, and so I made some mental notes in my mind. I was like, oh, this is gonna be perfect for After Dark. So, do you know what man keeping is?
Not manscaping?
No, not manscaping.
Man keeping.
The rise of man keeping. Yeah, I didn't even heard of it either. I was like, what the hell does that mean?
What is it?
The newest viral trend highlighted by The Guardian and the New York Times this month is man keeping. This term describes the invisible emotional labor and social upkeep women perform for their male partners, such as managing his schedule, coaching him through emotions his friends won't hear, and essentially acting as the unpaid therapist. Man keeping the exhaustion women feel as acting as emotional caretakers.
So mothering.
I'm sorry, but I thought that was actually just part of a relationship. Like,
true.
So, like, why do we need a name for man keeping?
I'm kind of confused. Is this like they're over smothering him and like or they're just trying to be helpful?
That's what I don't understand. People are also saying it. So this kind of comes into play with the second piece that I'm going to talk about, which how women are rejecting the term boyfriend, but it's also for people who are, that's how they sometimes identify being partners with somebody. They're man keeping somebody.
And I guess, like, too, I feel like everyone brings different things to a relationship. So, like, if the woman's helping keep his life organized, but he's, I don't know, planning I don't know. I'm confused.
But here's the thing, though, like, why? It doesn't make any sense to me, because to me, in a relationship, like, you want that emotional part.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess there is sometimes a fine line in terms of mothering or fathering or whatever, or having that take over in a relationship. But you want that emotional piece. Wouldn't you want to bear that emotion to your significant other because you don't have other people in your life to do that?
Right.
Why do you have to use it as, I don't know, it's not kind of slightly, to me, it feels so slightly derogatory when you're saying,
yeah.
Like, what the fuck does that mean?
That's really interesting to me, because I just feel like that's a benefit of having a woman in your life, is that we do bring those things because our brains operate differently. Yeah. We think differently.
Exactly. So this actually came in an article that I'm going to go into next, because it's saying, which I found quite interesting. I have some thoughts about this, but it says women are rejecting the term boyfriend because it has become synonymous with a role they no longer want to play. So this came in an article entitled "Man Keeping" is cited as the primary reason single women, 62%, according to recent reports, are opting out of dating entirely. So they're opting out of dating entirely due to the man keeping, and then also because they don't want to be known as having or using the term boyfriend. It says influencers and Gen Z women are joking that the traditional boyfriend dynamic feels, in quotes, Republican, meaning it feels conservative, traditionalist, in a way that clashes with modern independence. To many, the term boyfriend now signals a trad wife trajectory that they find uncool or cringe. So, yeah. So let me say the rest of this. So partner versus boyfriend as a maturity standard. So this is in Medium, and the Cavalier Daily explains that the word boyfriend is just being phased out because it sounds juvenile and temporary. The partner rebrand, women are insisting on the term partner because it implies an equal distribution of labor. It sounds like a serious adult commitment rather than a high school relationship. Using the word boyfriend is now seen as a soft launch of a relationship that you aren't yet sure will survive the public's online surveillance. And then on top of this, people are launching the private launch era of dating. If women do have boyfriends, the latest trend is to keep them entirely offline, not just a soft launch, but private launching. This is noted just back on December 10th from a magazine called Days. Centering a man in your digital life is now viewed as a personality deficit. The newest article suggests that privacy is the new power. If a woman mentions her boyfriend, she risks being labeled a boyfriend-girl, a term used to describe someone whose self-worth is entirely tied to her partner. That's a lot. Right?
What? So because I want to have a boyfriend, then if I use the term boyfriend, then these people are going to deduct to believe that my entire
if you use it online and post, that's what that means.
This is too much.
I know, with like the ever-evolving terms and trends. So I kind of get the whole boyfriend thing because, hello, I'm 43, and for me to say boyfriend, it really does sound like I'm in high school, and I get that. So like, sometimes I do say, oh, my partner, or he's, because I view him as my life partner. I don't view, it's just, to me, it's more than a boyfriend. Boyfriend does. It's really hard when you're at this stage of adulthood to say I have a boyfriend. It sounds really weird. It really does.
I get that too, in a sense. And in a way, I kind of understand that article because like you've expressed you're not sure you want to get married again. Yeah. So you don't maybe have that trajectory of like boyfriend, fiance, husband, but that is, you're in this relationship because he is your partner. He's your life partner. You're planning life together. Yeah. So I do totally get that, where like, but on the flip side,
I don't see it as being traditional, being Republican though.
And
or
I
like
don't see it as negative. Like if I'm like, this is my boyfriend, because I do want to try to get to the fiance, to the marriage. Yeah. But like, I don't see either view as a negative thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's very interesting.
Yeah. It's just funny how
we have to make a big deal out of everything you say.
I know, literally.
If you want to post your boyfriend, post your boyfriend. If you don't want to post your boyfriend, don't. If you want to call him partner, call him partner. If you want to call him boyfriend, call him boyfriend. I just don't understand why we need terms like man keeping and how we have to say it's cringe to have a boyfriend. Like, can't we just all live the way we want to live?
Exactly, and not make it a big deal. Yeah. But it's so true because there are times where I'll get DMs or something, and then they'll try to hit on me, and I'm like, sorry, I'm in a relationship. Oh, well, you don't post them. And I'm like, I don't have to post it. First of all, I am very public. I do want to keep this. There's reasons why he's 100%. Private. And secondly, it's none of your effing business.
Yeah.
And no, I don't post them so I can like go and do whatever I want to do. That's so dumb.
Yeah.
I'm not in fucking high school.
Right. And I'm like, I have always said, like, if you see me ever post a man again, it's because I will be marrying him. Yeah. Like, I agreed. I'm more of the private side too, even despite what I do. But like, even every now and then I'll like post something that's alluding to having a man in my life just so people stay out of my DMs.
It's good.
But then again, I'm like, come in my DMs because I need to meet someone. So
I just think it's weird that like now people are you say boyfriend and now automatically it means you're conservative. I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense to me.
And I think
you're the whole trad wife thing. Like, I was a trad wife. Will I ever be that? No.
Yeah.
That was not me, and I'll never be that ever again. But that doesn't mean that like I wouldn't recommend it to somebody. Like, do what works for you and your family. Like, it didn't work for me, so it doesn't necessarily mean I'm against it.
Yeah. And if someone wants to stay home and is able to financially and take care of their kids, and that's their role, I feel like people have made trad wife such a almost demeaning term. Yeah. When I'm like, that's their role in the relationship, that's their role in the family, and that's what they want.
Let them live their life.
Good for them.
Then go do whatever you want to do, but like, don't piss on their grass.
Oh. Don't piss on their grass.
They're happy, like, leave it alone. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? If it's not affected, what does it have anything to do with you in your life? If it doesn't affect you, keep it moving.
Yeah.
So I just when I saw all of this, I was like, what the heck?
It's a lot to digest. I feel like I also needed to take notes. Like boyfriend, cringe. Partner is new term.
Partner,
Don't soft
life
launch,
partner,
private
man
launch.
man keep, private launch, no public launch, no soft launch. There's so many things to dating.
And then man keep, I was thinking manscaping. I'm like, what? He shaves his balls? Cool. Moving on.
Yeah.
What's next?
Okay, so this made me, when you have those nights when you scroll and you just literally die laughing in your bed late at night?
Yes.
This was one of those nights for me. I was laying in bed and I was scrolling on Instagram and I was dying. So this guy posted, and the comments, man, they were amazing. It says, describe your brand as an ex. Okay. So one comment says, DoorDash, always showing up late, half the effort, and delivering disappointment. Somebody else said Uber, everyone got a ride. I know. Lays because he lays with everyone. PetSmart because my pets were smarter than him.
Savage.
The next woman said Forever 21 because he refuses to grow up. I was like, that's good. This one was good. Google Maps confidently led me in the wrong direction and kept recalculating.
Clever people.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I was like, these comments are really good. Nokia, the phone Nokia, good, but no future.
Oh.
I thought that was amazing. Seriously, if you guys listen to this or if you see this social media clip, you have to, if you know one of these, if you have one of these in the please comment. Because I'm not that clever. I couldn't have thought of any of these.
Wait,
okay.
You said describe your brand as an ex. Yes. Describe your ex as a brand.
Did I say that wrong?
I think so. Yes. And then at first I was like, wait, these aren't business owners. Okay, so it's describe your ex as a brand.
Oh, I did say it. I wrote it wrong.
Okay,
describe your brand as an ex. I did write it wrong.
I was like, are these a bunch of CEOs in the comments? Wow, don't bring your brand to that level.
That's hilarious.
Okay, keep going.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Airbnb feels like home until you realize it's only temporary. Okay, I have 3 more. Shein, because he lets every she in. Pampers, because he was full of shit. And the last one, 7-Eleven, because to everyone, he was open 24/7. Oh, I thought that was funny. Wow. I was like, wow, yeah, these are super clever.
I know that this is going to sound so naive, but it's hard to explain. I knew cheating was prevalent. I didn't know how prevalent it was in adults until people started talking about it more on TikTok. And I think I thought about it as a high school, college thing when you're just immature and you don't want to fully commit. And then I thought about it as in marriage. But I'm just seeing there's this vast gamut of people in their 30s and 40s.
I mean, just made national news that the former Michigan coach who went crazy bananas this past week. So
what?
Yeah.
It's every relationship. And I think it's just the prevalence of it of every person almost that you encounter has talked about being cheated on at some point in their adult life.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That's crazy to me.
It's awful.
Wow. That was funny.
I know, it was funny.
That was good. Mine is a more happy version of love. But have you heard about the guy who just recently went viral because he's trying to buy an engagement ring for his girlfriend?
No.
It's really cute.
Oh, okay.
All right. So after a year and a half together, Bradley Cho decided he wanted to propose to his girlfriend of 1.5 years. He said he wanted to buy her the ring she deserves. And I'm quoting that because these are his exact quotes. And I think it's his exact quotes that are making people fall in love with his story.
Okay.
But it was $6,500. He has recently bought their dream condo. So at the moment, he couldn't afford much else. So he started door dashing on the side while documenting it on TikTok. He starts off with, I want to propose to my girlfriend, but I don't have the funds. Very vulnerable about it. And then he said, so this is day 1 of door dashing. Which, of course, the effort is sweet, but it's the way he talks about his girlfriend, like I said, that has made people fall in love with their story. He said he doesn't want to wait for the perfect moment because that is just fear with a deadline. So basically, he knows he could build up these funds slowly, but why wait when he knows, like, she's the one he wants? Because that if he wanted to, he would mentality.
Yeah.
So even a bigger influencer reached out. She's like, I love your story. I like to do good in the community, and I'd love to buy you the ring. And he said no. He wanted to raise it himself. Jewelry companies have DM'd him, offering him rings or deals, but he just keep wanting to work hard to buy it himself.
Aww.
The first video got 8.7 million views. It's only been 4 days. His account has grown over 111,000 followers, and he has all these brands and people now in the comment section cheering him on. And it's just a really sweet story of love. And everyone just talking about how, like, it goes back to if he wanted to, he would.
Yeah.
And, like, I think it's a really sweet story, too, where he wants to, like, provide for his girlfriend. He's like, I bought us our dream condo, but that's not enough. Now I want to make her my wife. And so I'm going to work and work and work.
And then
together.
not only that, but he's just, like, turning down all the deals that he could have already gotten it within 4 days and been like, great, let's
we're
do
done.
the deal,
Yes.
you know?
Because I think he wants to show, like, I did this, I bought this. I honestly, if he hasn't thought about this yet, use this as a smart business move.
Yes.
Buy the ring, but then let these businesses fund your wedding.
Exactly.
You have now another form of income coming into you,
like,
and
literally
your girlfriend.
get that and be like, okay, well, you can be part of the experience after we get to this point, and then book out those deals.
Yep. Get the wedding band paid for. Like, do the part that makes you feel good, but then, like, get your bag, bub. Get your
love
bag.
that.
Yeah, that was a really sweet story.
Yeah, and I love the whole thing. Like, if he wanted to, he would.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's a big deal for women.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was just out of Chicago, our little neighbor. I'm like, does he have any friends that if they wanted to, they would drive over to Indianapolis?
Yeah, you know, maybe get married and have babies in a year.
That's all I want. That's
Like
it.
right now?
It's not that difficult. A random one. I don't think I've heard, this is more of like international news, but
Okay.
did you know that Australia passed a law that you can't have kids under 16 in Australia on social media?
Yes, we talked about that this
I
past
didn't
week.
see that.
Yeah.
I have been kind of, I saw it 2 weeks ago or something when the Prime Minister announced it, and then it became in effect on December 10th.
Yeah, and actually if anybody violates that term in that country now, I mean, any social media platform will get fined like millions of dollars.
Up to $49.5 million if they're not putting their effort in. I think about myself as a 16-year-old, and I'm sure, or 15-year-old and under.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's like a bummer for them and hard for them. But as an adult, understanding I have said multiple times, I am so thankful growing up we didn't have social media.
I agree.
Because the bullying and the way people are just so mean. My 13-year-old self, I was a sensitive girl.
I mean, my son will be 16 and he has no social media.
Good.
He's not allowed. And granted, he does gaming, and we still know there's online predators.
Yeah.
We've talked to him about that and like the chat rooms and all that other stuff. But his phone is disabled. Like if he can't even go into any type of social media app to get onto anything. He does do YouTube, but we manage it. We see everything. But we're just like, you don't need it.
Yeah.
He has some friends that do have some TikToks. And so he'll see some stuff from his friends, but we're like, you don't need it. And I agree. Like, I think actually with all the detriment we see, especially on the news side of the bullying, of the whole like 764 with, them just trying to extort pictures and money and telling children to go kill themselves and do all of these things. There's so much evil in the world, and at that age you're just not equipped to handle all of those things. You have you're very naive, and you think everything is true, and you look at everybody with the best intentions, and that's not true when it happens on social media. So I wish it was here, honestly. I know people would go crazy though.
No, I do think it's a good too, because it's like people bully for no reason.
Yeah.
I was looking back at some of our clips, and that one clip where I was just talking about being happy at 39 because it was my birthday, and some guy commented, "Well, are your eggs happy?" I'm literally just talking about being happy and fulfilled. And I was like, well, actually, I just talked to my doctor and she said I'm nowhere close to perimenopause. So joke's on you.
I know. People just like want to comment and be mean.
And someone else said, this is also what alcoholics say or something. I'm like, can a girl just not be happy on the internet?
No.
And like to the point where I'm a 39-year-old and that was mean. I can't imagine being 13 and here I am posting about a great day at school or something.
Kill yourself.
And
You're like, what?
Like, it's people are cruel and it's hard because like you don't want censorship, but man, you want to protect kids and let them remain innocent as long as possible.
Yes, absolutely.
So, very interested to see
that. I mean, even today, I posted it on my story because I did Unfiltered Weekly, you know, I was talking about news stories. And so this idiot guy on YouTube said something to the effect of, talks about the story but doesn't provide the clip to the story, she must be lazy. And I said, I'm sorry, you must be lazy because if you just clicked on the fucking YouTube channel, you would see the whole episode. Like, what is wrong with people? Do I need to hand feed you links to stories? Can you not think for yourself? Would you like YouTube to think for you?
If I hear
and I hope you see this clip, jerk.
Would you like me to make sure that one makes it to social media? I posted to YouTube only.
Like, what kind of comment is that? Yeah. You know what I mean? I was like, oh my God, I'm sorry. Does your brain not work?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
People have just gotten so bold on the internet, and it's always the faceless accounts, I find. But
oh yeah, I was called a witch this week.
For what?
So I did a story on there was an incest story that I reported on. And I verbatim read the PCA, the probable cause affidavit, and the story had already been out. I was not the only person who had it. And I read the story, and I read the story as is, which included where the incest came from. And so because I apparently outed the family, it was everywhere. But somebody commented and said that I am such a witch and that I needed to burn in hell. That's what she said.
Because you are the only person on the internet sharing this news story. And so I replied,
I said, oh, I'm the one who needs to burn in hell, not the person who actually did the incest. I said, you're laughable.
I can't.
Like, and then there was other people in the comment being like, are you being serious right now? Like this lady, it's like, little do you know, I carry some of that brujeria in my family line. That's not a dig, okay? So you can
little do you know.
That doesn't mean anything to me. But I was like, really? And I said, I'm just reporting the story, so sorry.
People are
and then somebody else said, you're just doing this for clicks. I said, no, babe, the story did it on its own.
Your news anchor is talking about news.
Yeah.
But yeah,
but I just wanted clicks.
You
and
just
I was
need
like,
attention.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm pretty sure the guy who actually did the incest did all on its own, and his head, his face, everything that's out in the press, it is not my fucking fault. I'm sorry. So yeah, that's the stuff. It's just interesting when you get into the news side. Oh yeah, and then I was called a Nazi a couple weeks ago too.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's just great.
I've stopped reading comments on our podcast stuff.
Yeah.
Because people they're just so cruel. And it always, anytime they don't like what we say, they attack our looks and then they attack our age. And it's just like, we're just here to chat.
Yeah.
We're not here to force anything down.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you're just here to share the news.
Yeah.
And I rarely respond to people anymore because I always go back to the one person who responded on my faceless affiliate account I had tried at one point. And I had shared a Taylor Swift shirt and they were like, basically, I won't buy this because I don't like Taylor Swift. And they said it in a more negative light, but they were like, basically thought I was some like crazy Swiftie. And so they said they wouldn't buy it because they didn't like Taylor Swift because it reminds them of their ex. And so I just commented, I was like, I'm so sorry you got your heart broken. And I was like, nobody deserves that. And they responded to me and said, oh man, I was trying to rile you up, but you're actually just being nice. Now I feel guilty. Aww. Like their whole intention was to start an argument in the comment section.
And they realized it wasn't going the way they planned.
So I always remember that. And it's like rare I ever respond. Or if I do, it's like kind of more joking. Like, no, my eggs are fine. Thank you.
Yeah.
But because I feel like some people just want the argument. They just want the fight. they just want you to get spicy back with them because
Absolutely.
it's like a thrill.
Well, and even there was another story I did, and then this guy responded, and he was like, it was a political story, and he responded like, why don't, and he like wrapped me into everybody at WIBC. Why don't any of all of you are scared of me? You won't have me on. I've done blah, 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 X, Y, and Z. So he was like attacking me for, I don't know who this guy is. I have no idea. So I responded and I said, I hope you're not talking to me because I don't know who you are. I said, so none of what, and he responded with this long paragraph. And I was like, none of this means anything to me. I don't know you.
Yeah.
And he was like, and then he responded nice. He was like, oh, well, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you didn't know my background story. I said, no, I work in the newsroom. I have no idea who you are. Oh, okay. Well, this is actually what, and then he turned his conversation around and was like, well, actually, this is what I've done. And it's just frustrating that like nobody wants to hear my side or my story of what I've done for whatever city, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay. I said, that's a proper way to respond to a comment. I said, maybe I'll contact you for a story. It's not that fucking hard. Like, don't be a dick.
No. That's like something that I talk with like my social media clients about. Like, I posted a video once, it was a very long time ago, and it was talking about like my favorite mass retail moisturizers. So silly. And an esthetician commented on it, and they were like, that one really? I was very young into my skincare journey at the time. That's the best I thought that they could offer. It's the most moisturizing one I thought they could offer. And then when I was like to my clients, flip the switch. If that esthetician would have commented like, hey girl, I know you love this one, but in that price point's important to you, you should try this one. Or come in, let's do a consult, and I'll use that to like more positively flip the switch. And instead, she kind of came at it in a negative form. I took it as like defensive. I'm like, I didn't know, and nothing productive was done. Where if this guy would have just come to you and be like, hey, I've been trying to share my story. This is what I'm doing. Can I reach out to you, or is anyone share my information with you?
He like attacked me, and I was like, I don't know who you are. Like,
people need to put their calls away. You know what they need to do? They need to come to Elysian. They need to get some IV fluids because maybe they're dehydrated, and they need to start feeling good from the inside out.
Maybe get their eyes checked.
Yes, relax in their spa rooms. Like, it's very peaceful and tranquil in the IV room. Do some self-reflecting.
It is. It's a very peaceful place.
It is.
I'm glad we could not bring it some peace for a few minutes for this part of the podcast.
I
got riled up on stuff. I'm sorry.
Some of the negative comment mojos.
We had some spicy stuff this week. So
We did. Spicy place in the most calming place in Indy.
I
know. Perfect.
Well, thanks for joining us on this week's Behind the Filter After Dark edition. We'll be back with another episode soon.
Bye.
Bye.